Hi, Kobe. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Sammy. How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, good. All right. Had good break?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
How about you?
It was good, So I had not taken my days off, so I just took about 8, 9 days, and then so it was good, Yeah.
Nice, nice. Good morning, Deb.
Hello,
What is that?
everybody. I do have a conflict, so I can't stay for long. Could you pop in the chat, Sammy, the link to what you wrote up so I can take some time and look at it?
Yes, I will put the link here.
Ooh. Now I need to find chat. Here it is. All right. Let me see if I can access it.
I do need your email. I believe Intel email may not work.
Well, right. I'm not using my Intel email. But
You can send me a.
I can see it. It says I can edit it. Let me just see if I can. Who am I signed in as? How would I know that? I'm signed in on a Gmail account. So let me just see. Oh, is this is the one from Rob Bunger, right? This is the
No.
DCF one. That's what I got linked. The link you sent me.
Did you get the? Oh, sorry. I need to get a different one. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
should read that one too.
This is a different document. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I hear that comment and I, yes, look at the second one.
All right. Let me see how that looks.
If you don't have access,
All right. So I do need to request access. So do you want me just to tell you the account?
Yeah, type in the
to the chat?
email account, then I can add.
Okay.
Same thing for Kobe,
I don't.
email.
Yeah, I don't have access, Yeah.
So you need to give me the.
Oh, I need to send you the user ID, Intel email ID.
Not Intel on. If you have Gmail or you need to have some OCP ID. If you have, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, you have OCP ID, right?
I do, but I put another one that I'm more frequently signed into because I don't just do OCP.
Okay.
So I just gave another Gmail, but it says Green Ops, so you can sort of see that it's sustainability.
Okay, I need to create one and send it to you. I'll do that.
Yeah. See whether you can access now.
All right, let me see if I can access it now. Okay, I can definitely see it. Now let me see. I'm just okay. It looks like I can also edit it. All right, excellent. I promise to take a look at this offline. I'm just want to save it for myself.
Yeah. If you have some comments, add it or edit and send it to me. Yeah, I used your template tab, and looks like people are asking for the numbers, section numbers. That way it's easy, probably reference it. I am good at the section numbers.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. People have different, different places where they want to be picky.
Right. And I also need to add some table of contents. Janice added some comments on it. I'm going to address it. Shruti also asked a few people she's sending it within Microsoft, so I'm hoping I will get some comments. I would like to probably get all your feedback and maybe roll it by end of the week or by next week. Before
Yeah. All right, great. Thank you much. I will take some time to look at it and talk to you all soon.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dev. Happy New Year.
Bye. Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.
I'm still creating an email, 1 second.
Just no problem.
Yeah.
I think the reason I posted in the OCP site, this one is an OCP.
Okay.
So that way it's a part of OCP's this one. So
Sure. Yeah.
easy rather than putting it totally a separate server and dealing with it. Right?
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I think what I would like to, one of the things we discussed was before we can release, we need to get a TCG green grid. Need to review and approve it. And I believe Eric is part of the TCG, so
Okay.
we will work through him.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, Mohan. And also I think good morning, Mohan. You are able to hear us. Or at least we cannot hear you. So Gobi, I think it'll be good because you also have other backgrounds and other things that you're working on it. Anything that we really need to call out, right? Let us capture it that way. When we are doing the IUE, it comes in handy. Like all these problems are stated here, and we are going to be working on the IUE next.
Sure. Yeah.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Sammy. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you more.
Okay.
So Mohan, I posted the docs so people can edit it or not edit it. They can comment it. So what email that you want to have access to that, Dr. Mohan?
Yeah. So let me just tell you what's going on with something else. So this is why I want to be very careful.
Okay.
So in another work group, CLA work group, very similar to what you have, Sammy, they developed, they've been working on virtualization. Okay. So they build on top of whatever PCSig has already done, talk about how to do SIOV, right?
Okay.
As you know, SIOV is an Intel technology, but there are elements of the SIOV that are in virtualization of IO that's inside the PCSig. So as a result of it, they came up with, hey, here are the changes that we would like to see made to the PCI Express spec for the future. It's a CLA work group. Every member company is also a member of PCI Express, but they took they didn't even submit it. They just took a proposal saying that hey, these member companies would like to bring in, and PCI just went berserk essentially, saying that so I shouldn't say berserk on a recorded line, but they got really upset, saying that hey, you guys, OCP is not a member of PCI-SIG, so you cannot really submit a proposal. It has all kinds of issues. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid for you with the green grid, right? I don't want them so it needs to stay. Obviously, Gopi is Intel, so we have no problem. So I think I don't know if Microsoft is smart about a green grid. I hope they are, in which case we have no problem. But until we get some kind of okay from them, we cannot go further. I will send a note to Bijan today and say, can you reach out to Green Grid and say that can we work on this is what we are doing, this is what the sustainability charter is. and can we have some kind of a relationship so we are in the clear, right? So
Right.
so until then, we should just say this is a you should treat it like a CLA. I don't know if is this a CLA work group? I don't think so.
No, this is open.
This is an open work group, so it may be even worse, right? Because if
Right.
some non-member of TGG is here, then you would have been the reason that you took what's your privilege in TGG and gave it to somebody that didn't have privilege, and you don't want to do that.
Right. So in fact, I think there are people were joining. They were not even member of OCP.
Yeah. So I would say keep it out of circulation. I mean, feel free to send it to Gopi,
Right.
but I wouldn't send this back until Eric approves for broader
Okay.
review.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah, Microsoft is part of Green Gate. I see it.
yeah. So again,
Right.
in spite of everybody being a member of that, they still have it an issue. So
Right. Okay.
so I just want to be in the clear, and
Right.
this is something that we all need to work through. And this is something we have talked to the foundation membership about, right? We have all these standards that we depend on, right? DMTF, PCI6, CXL, Green Grade, and so on. What's the engagement framework between the two organizations? Like what is kosher and what is not, right? And those have to be written down so everybody knows what to do.
Okay, it's the same problem with all the
Yeah.
WE and all kind of
Everybody, it's the same issue.
Right.
So my suggestion to you for now,
Okay.
until Eric gets clearance,
Okay.
do not circulate the spec.
Okay.
Right. As far as I'm concerned, you did
Right.
it, but you can't go anywhere until, because I really don't want this repeating, because then the foundation membership getting pulled in, lawyers get pulled in, and we just waste our time as opposed to doing technology.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry for the sidetrack, but I just want to hi Jeff.
Oh, this is important, That's good. Thanks for the overview, Sure.
Yeah, especially for you, Gopi, right? You're
Yeah.
You're a federal guy, so you need to be even more careful.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Mohan, I think we will not send it to anybody else until Eric comes back.
Yeah, wait for Eric to come back with whatever their official wording is, and then we'll run it by Cliff and Bijan, and make sure they have a clarity here, and then we'll go forward.
Okay. So for the next one, right, IUE Mohan, is it going to be kind of similar boat?
No, if we are developing it and then we can work on it. The trouble will start when you try to say, hey, I developed it at OCP and I'm giving it to you, because they'll say, they say, so that one is cleaner, because you're not really, it's a new metric, right?
Right.
There's nothing that says you have to even submit it to the Green Grid. You could keep it to yourself. I mean, like, we can keep it inside OCP if you wanted to.
Right. But
yeah, that's fine. That part is fine. So yeah, we can work on IUE.
But also, is it okay to kind of reference?
We can reference
PUE and other things.
Yeah, we can reference it because of that government document that you and I found, right?
Okay.
Because we can say, well, we didn't get it from your spec, we got it from the government document, which is valid point.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because the U.S. government basically has a document published. So.
All right. Yeah. Oh, okay.
And even this one, the PUE, we are not unless we go back and say that they need to make a change. Is that still? We are saying these things need to be changed, and we are going to reference that to address that and the IUE, right?
Yeah, and this is where I don't want to play lawyer, right? So
Right.
I'll ask somebody what's
Okay.
because the other issue that's going on, they're also saying you're violating our copyright.
Okay. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. That's what. Okay.
Okay.
So, the another one more like in addition to the IUE, do we want to start the discussion on uh, other metrics too, or we want to let's get the IUE first and then we can spend time on other things?
No, we can start on. So one thing is that we talked a lot about. I mean, again, in terms of I don't know if there is like a public mention of the WE, so we can also work at WE. I mean, one of the issues was there is no profiles, right? Like what
Right.
Jeff and um, John Leong did for Redfish in OCP manageability. That's kind of the role we are playing here, right? So we're saying we will create the profiles that say what, because I mean, and if you've seen the latest the Redfish schema, it's huge, right? So which part of that applies to you? How does it apply? All of that is, and that's kind of what we are saying here.
Right.
That's the scope. That's the scope we are doing. So yeah, that we can look at that. And again, what we should do is to go by something that's publicly available as we work towards it, and not base it on the TGG spec until the foundation gets a clean relationship going with everybody.
Okay.
Right. I mean, for DMTF, we are lucky that the officers of DMTF are also on OCP.
Okay.
Yeah, that and the DMTF specs are freely downloadable and usable from on the public site. So as long as it's released material, that we don't have any issues between the DMTF that way.
Okay, so
but yeah, Mohan's right. Those are for other ones, like you can't necessarily freely copy and distribute their specs. So that's the issues.
Hi, Jeff. So then I think Mohan, what we will do is let's probably like spend more energy on IUE and get that completed, and maybe even define the profile. Before even going and defining it, do we have alignment on whether we're going to have a OCP ready with a OCP sustainability ready kind of program, or are we thinking of doing it?
So I believe this is a good time. So you got a mail. You may not have got up to it yet. So next week is the first meeting of the project team, right? For sustainability.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe you have an opportunity to present there.
Okay.
And the scope of that is to find out, what it is that you wanted to accomplish in 24.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, you can say, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So that's something that maybe we should work on today, given this is our only opportunity before that meeting.
That's a good point. I think better put it in front of the broader group.
Broader
right?
group. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
What we need for that to kind of justify, like we want to really like say these are the profile details need to be there, and unless that is spelled out, at least we need to go and work on it to define the profile. But at least at a high level, we need to say these attributes need to be reflected, unless sustainability ready is.
So sorry, let me say one more thing then. So one of the things is they are asking, like the foundation is asking if there is any strategic programs that we want to do. So you can say this is one of the strategic programs that you want to do, and then the strategic program scope may be that this is what you're doing. You're essentially saying you're going to develop this these profiles, right? And whether this is how you think of it, whether this is, you think of it as just part of regular work, or this is something that's heavily strategic and they should track it, is something that we can discuss right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but putting something. 1 second. I think Shruti sent that mail.
So Jeff, is there any precedence on within the OCP program? Do we have some subset of features we say it is ready? Is there any profiles already available that we could reuse same concepts here?
Well, so OCP, we already have a few OCP profiles that the management group is working on updating those. But in terms of examples, that those are available.
I think what I'm asking is there's OCP ready, and it takes a lot of red paste and other things and says puts OCP profile and says OCP ready. What I'm asking is, even within OCP ready, then sustainability ready, or maybe I don't know. You can call it as a pooled memory ready or something like that, right? Is there any kind of subset of features that we can say like it is ready for OCP? In addition to that, you are going to have this subset of features.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's, I mean, so I want to divide that work into two things. Number one is like, let's get the content, like what is our list of metric requirements, right? What data do we need? And then I think that there's a larger question, and I don't for this community as to, does OCP want to have, do we want to have a separate sustainability profile, or do we want to just roll those sustainability requirements into the systems management profile, right? To say, look, in order to be OCP ready, or whatever the terminology is, that you just have to meet the sustainability parts, or do we want to have a separate call out to say, I have a separate check mark to say, yes, I meet the OCP sustainability, and we can change that over time. So I can debate this amongst myself.
Right.
And so because I think if I was going to say fundamentally, sustainability is a core tenet of OCP, and therefore, if you're going to get an OCP check mark of some kind, well, then that means you need to meet the sustainability pieces just like everything else. The practical side, or the more promotional piece of this, might be, well, that would be a good thing maybe in 2025. Maybe we merge those all together and say, hey, this is just the whole, it's all or none. But do we in order to try to promote it, or otherwise call attention to it, do we do a separate one so that you can just say, hey, I'm just going to check this product for the sustainability things, and does it meet it, yes or no? And that would, that can give us a much more targeted program.
Yeah, I'm with, so Sammy, this was the other thing I was going to mention. So if you look at the template for the white papers and so on, there is sustainability is one of the tenets. So, but then if you look at what people fill for sustainability, it's fairly qualitative and generic. And I talked to Shruti about this and Alex about this, saying that the reason for that is because we have not given them anybody guidance on what the quantitative metrics would be. So yeah, your idea of creating a profile, that's a great idea, because then you can say, when people are assessing their white paper or whatever their submission is, they can say, yes, my proposal here complies with XYZ of whatever is put out by the sustainability work group. That'll be a better place for us to end in.
Okay. What I was kind of thinking more is when OCP profile, when you query, it can give a indication a sustainability metrics is supported or not, right? Something like that, right? If it is supported, it must implement. There is a required set of items that need to be implemented, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
and one more thing. Sorry, one more
Right,
thing
Suruchi.
in this broader one more thing in the broader discussion. Hopefully, we will also get time to bring it up on our Jan 10th bigger meeting. Is I mean, not everyone might be getting sustainability compliant, sustainability tenant compliant by aligning with these metrics, but maybe some kind of specification is aligned by a different criteria, which is also measurable. I mean, the main aim is to put something that is measurable, that can be quantified, and hence we can say that yes, they complied with the sustainability tenant. This could be one, or there could be like a number of other things that they could sort of show in order to prove that yes, they are sustainability tenant compliant. Like maybe I'm going to the other extreme in this, but maybe they do the carbon impact analysis and they show that it is a lower embodied carbon. Sure, it is then sustainability tenant compliant.
There may be
So there might be a couple of things.
You could have multiple things underneath sustainability, right? You can say, hey, I'm IUE or PE compliant, or carbon compliant, or even you can split into multiple things and say like, if you want to advertise your sustainability compliant all or a subset, right?
Yeah, or a subset, correct. Yeah.
Right. If it is subset, then you need to meet what we define the profile, right? That's what I'm saying. It's required. When we meet required, then you can say like you are compliant. But if you're not
if they are, for
meeting
example,
required, right?
Yeah, if they are saying that they are whatever IUE, PUE compliant, maybe then they have to be compliant with the profiles.
Right.
Maybe that is it.
Right. Yes, I have seen like all the nowadays all the new white paper or approvals. There is a sustainability column they need to fill out. But you're right, Mohan. There's nothing really like in the profile for us to kind of go and say programmatic way to go and query it, right? So then I think for the next week meeting, let me put together a few slides and I'll circle back with this team and make sure that we are aligned before we can present it there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Present the white paper.
No, this is before you joined, Shruti. What we are discussing is we want to bring the OCP sustainability ready profile concept to the sustainability meeting monthly call next week.
Okay, so you want to bring it to Jan 10th?
Right.
Okay. So we'll actually open up with the general discussion over there. Okay. And then you can sort of use, a few minutes to bring up this as one solution suggestion.
Okay.
So I think that is scheduled as hopefully we get to all the topics that there's one topic to discuss.
Sure.
Okay.
Another one, I think, Shruti, did you had a chance to review the white paper and have any comments or inputs that?
So I actually sent it to who would be more appropriate to directly review it. Did you already receive feedback comments from them?
No,
okay, I'll nudge them to look at it ASAP. And I also intended sending it to somebody in Google who would be more appropriate. So I'll do that also today.
Yeah, I think what we are saying, Shruti, we want to get Eric to go to that TCG and get an approval for doing a broader send out.
Jen. Oh, so do you not want to send it to more folks before Eric's?
Yeah, I believe Microsoft side okay. Here, side Intel side okay. We want to. They're still restricting the access going outside.
Okay, I mean, I can send it outside later also. That is
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sami, I posted my email.
Yeah, I
you
gave you
can
access already.
give me access. So yeah.
I already gave the access.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So, any other things you guys have want to discuss today?
Nothing from my end, So once we have these, then we can go back and create some, profiles, which we talked about, offline.
Right.
So we can start kind of, put a mini plan, and then start getting the details. I have some element already identified, but we can work through offline. Yep.
Yeah, I think one of the thing is since we are going to start the IE white paper, I will call out all these details, and even we can put profile all these things, right? Because it's much more of a implementation things. Then we can take that and work with the hardware management team. Jeff is here. We can get that reviewed and
sure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
we'll first. I think that's the reason we want to get this alignment with a broader team on sustainability profile.
Yep, sounds good.
And then what are the things? At least we need to create a high-level structure. Then we need to start putting more details.
Okay.
I'm hoping from next week onwards, let us do a lot more technical details there, so that we can start developing that content, both IUE as well as sustainability profile content.
Okay, sounds good.
When
Thank you.
Sorry, when is Eric going to get a chance to sync up with the TCG?
I don't know the exact date. He said there is some yearly meeting this month. He's going to prepare some content because we cannot share the white paper to them because it's an OCP side. So he has to
Right.
extract a specific content, what exactly we are calling out to your thing, so that he can go and present. Talk.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. I have not
Okay.
got the date from him at Shruti.
Okay. After that, maybe we want to also use 10 minutes after that, maybe in the next month's bigger OCP sustainability meeting, sort of running through what is the main gist of the PUE paper.
Yeah, we can create a summary of the content and talk through them, right? But as a paper, right, like we said, right, we want to make sure that TCG side aligned before we can distribute widely.
Sure. After that, yeah.
And I think maybe that's what we should call out in the monthly call also, right? Yeah, there is a pending item TCG alignment needed, and I believe Mohan, before we started, I think early he mentioned not just green grid, right? There is other WE and other different bodies. There is different bodies are working, and how OCP is going to work with them. I think that clarity need to come out. I think that's one of the action item I want to talk to Bijan. Any other
Sounds good.
comments or things today?
Nothing else from my end, Yeah.
Anything you from Shruti from you?
No, nothing else. I will nudge those folks from Microsoft whom I sent the paper to review it ASAP.
Okay, thank you. And,
You were able to add them, right?
Yeah, I already added them.
Okay.
And Jeff, do you have any?
Nope.
And Mohan? We cannot hear you if you're talking, Mohan. If not, then let's give 20 minutes back. Next week, we will start going through the UE as well as the profile details.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
One small thing, sorry. So if you are putting together, that suggestion for sustainability compliant means let's be compliant with the profile. Can you actually add what is included in the profile? Like, can we have the list of exactly what is there in the profile, please?
No, that's details we need to work out, right? What we really want to get that concept. Are we going to have a sustainability ready within the OCP?
Or roughly what is intended to be in that profile?
Yeah. So
that is also fine. So we can
profile
get the main
detail
gist
will
of
not be
what is the
defined, but
profile doing.
at least high level what is going to have, right? That's it's going to be that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, what I would expect for a sustainability profile, if we just wanted to do that, then clearly we have the power and energy measurements. We'd want to have that for a device, at the as I keep saying, at the power plug, at the mains in, we want total power consumption, total energy consumption. And then we may want to do things for for devices like servers that have major subsystems. We may want to have, maybe put some requirements or at least some recommendations for things like the IT power versus the non-IT, the whatever we were calling that one, Mohan, the fan power to be able to do our efficiency metrics. And then I would expect that we would want enough product identification information and its physical location information to be able to correlate the data that we have for run phase, use phase, carbon emission and energy consumption, as well as its physical location, so you can do you can do your carbon modeling based on location in the world, and and obviously enough location in the data center as well to track it, and then enough product identification so that folks could at least do a lookup for the carbon, for the embodied carbon modeling. So it's probably a small set of data, but it'll be important. So.
Okay, I think there is some overlap, and that's exactly what I was thinking when I asked this question. I think there is some overlap with the carbon label or disclosure that's being built. Like, essentially, some of this might be a part of that carbon disclosure label.
Right.
So if they are compliant with that, that is already one work in the progress, and they already intend that products be compliant with this.
Exactly.
Or at least that's the intention. So yeah, we can include all of these in the profile, but then it might be that it's included in two places. I was thinking in my head that profiles are more something that is stored within the device, like the energy power thing, which is measured and not stored, but essentially measured within the device. Versus carbon.
Just to be clear, so when we talk about the profile here, it's a Redfish interop profile. I apologize if the terminology gets overloaded. There's just no good name for them, but it's effectively it's a support checklist. It's what information can I get from this product via the public via its APIs.
API.
So that's what that profile means. It's not, it doesn't explain the values in terms of, you must have an efficiency of this number or a consumption under, it's not that. It's the, can I read your power? Can I read your serial number? And can I read your location in the world?
Right. And
The
I
actual
understand
numbers
that part.
is a different animal.
I think there'll be two pieces. I mean, one
Yes.
is from the definition angle, you can tell what is the minimal acceptable parameters or attribute that needs to be present and what is the maximum. You can kind of go in that path. Second thing is we can have a compliance engine where you can check to see is it per compliance or not. If we want to develop that piece, right? We can go with that also. Given
Yep.
a range, it should be within that. If not, okay, it's not compliant or something like that. A scorecard can be given. We can think in that
Yeah,
direction.
I understand that part, but everything that carbon we are mentioning here, that is an overlap with the
Sure. Yeah.
with the carbon label or disclosure work stream then.
Is it part of OCP, Shruti?
Yes,
If it is
it
part
is
of
a partnership.
OCP,
It is a partnership between OCP and Climate Accord.
okay, what I'm saying is if it is part of OCP, how are you going to programmatically get the data? Right? If it is already defined that
So-
mechanism, then we can say, yes, part of profile, carbon also part of that profile, right?
Yeah.
If you are saying programmatically you cannot get it, then it is basically like some documents people need to refer, right?
Sure.
And I think that's what we have to review. Is it programmatic info or non-programmatic info, right? If it is non-programmatic, how is the customer is going to get it?
I understand that part. All I'm trying to point out is doing this for the entire carbon information is an overlap with what that work stream wants to work on, or is basically tasked to work on.
Shruti, I would expect that if we make a programmatic profile, it's for sustainability overall, not for, I don't want to make 5 different ones for the 5 different work streams because it's going to be very overlapping data and we don't need to go have that would be a lot of it's unnecessary work to go get all the concepts, right? So we need to, and we can raise this with the monthly meeting is what work stream, which it needs to be one of the software groups. So that's why I think it's either here or it's in what's the other one? But so one of these 2 work streams, we need to define that programmatic profile. The carbon labeling, totally, completely different topic, subject, and probably not for this work stream, but we do need the group to overall to decide and just say, okay, who's going to work on, which work stream must own that effort of creating a profile for the sustainability group overall.
I think that's what I said, right?
Yep.
Under sustainability, you may have 4 or 5 different subcategories, right? Then each category, carbon is probably one of that.
Yep.
If you say I am going to be compliant with carbon profile within the sustainability, here is the attribute that need to provide. Whether that is done by different team or this team or however it is, right?
Yeah.
We need to coordinate and figure out how to close the gap.
So you're saying that work stream who's working on what is the attributes related to carbon, they will work on the attributes related to carbon. That will just be a part of this profile. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the sustainability is a super umbrella.
Also,
under that, you have a sub category that each team need to get their details spelled out.
Okay, maybe we should give that time a little bit more time then. I think they are not at a point to look at what is the means of accessing it, like whether it should be an API or something else. They are not at that point yet.
No, that's we need to first align on a high level. How is that overall need to look like? Then go and develop the details, right? If we develop the
Right.
details and we are not aligning, then we have to again run into problem, right? That's why as a OCP sustainability supergroup, you need to align, yes, we will have a profile underneath. So then you can go and define what are the things that need to be there.
Yeah, I would want to let that team have at least a few conversations between those co-leads, before we put these suggestions to them, though. We can bring it up, but I think, yeah, it will be a little bit too early for them. Likely we'll say that, okay, let's bring this up and consider again a little later. But
That's
we can
why,
bring
like,
it
we
up
need
once.
to define a roadmap when it's going to be final, but we need to start the discussion happening, right?
Yeah, I don't think they will be able to, contribute to the discussion because they have not had proper discussion within the co-leads themselves, right? They are like way too early right now.
And that's why we are saying we should spark the discussion in monthly call. Then you can have an AR, each teams need to have internalize it, right? Then you can have a discussion further.
So we'll put that AR maybe a little bit out.
Right.
Because their first AR is to, sort of have their other agenda
That's
figured
okay.
out.
They can decide, each work stream can decide when they want to take that upon it, right?
Yeah, so probably we'll put that AR, like maybe give them 3-4 months of working and then have them look at this part maybe.
Yeah, even for us, if you look at IEE and all the profiles, right? We are not expecting going to happen 1 or 2 months, right? It will take more time to be ready to really like say it's product ready, right? But we need to start the discussion.
Yeah, not to actually define what are the attributes in the profile, but to consider this itself. I think they would need a few sessions of their own first. So we can put it an AR for them, sure. Probably the AR will not be for like February or something, but
Yeah,
a
that's
little
fine.
bit out for them to
That's fine.
consider.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Because we know what to create to compute the carbon index, footprint, and what are the attributes that need to go in. We'll capture it and then we'll give it to them and see who the owner is. Let them take, AR to go back and complete that, right? So yeah,
Sorry.
I think both in going parallel. Yeah.
Who is the them? Gopi, sorry, I had to step away for a second.
No, there is another team like, who is doing the carbon footprint determination and all those stuff.
Okay.
We need to define what the
Yes.
attribute are contained in the profile. One of the section will be carbon footprint, what values you need. And then if some other team is working on it, let them work, but kind of, we can work with them to see, hey, these are the things which are required. And then are they willing to be capturing these or not, so we can have an engagement there,
There is one more input to this, right? Before we even get to the attributes, I do want their feedback on, okay, should API be the way of going about this? So I do want that input from them because they'll be working heavily on the embodied carbon. And that is why I'm saying they are not at a place to concentrate on this question while they are right now concentrating on their, remaining agenda. They would need a few working sessions of their own before they can get to this question.
Yeah, we can work all this in parallel. If
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to foist requirements on them, but if they get to it later, then we can add to the profile later. It doesn't. It's the stuff it's easy for us to revise and add. So
yeah, at least we can have the initial
Sure.
set defined, and
Yeah.
later on make adjustments as depending upon the schedules and other things, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of the power energy thing, this is the group who has been, working on it. So that I think we have a better idea. Like if you folks are saying that API should be the way to go, maybe you folks have a better idea that yes, that should be the method.
Yeah, I think if we generally look at profile, Shruti, there's a required and optional category, right?
Yeah.
If you say I'm supporting it, you're saying like I'm providing in a specified way. If you are saying I'm not supporting it, if there's no APIs for that, then you're on your own, right?
Yep.
Right, but we intend saying that to be sustainability client, they have to support, right? So then
No,
we
that's
have to say
why.
that.
No.
If the carbon guys coming back and say I'm going to provide this data programmable computer readable way, then we are going to tell them go and define it, right? If they're coming back and say like hey, no, you don't need to even say anything, then our profile, one of the attribute will say carbon is not defined.
Sure. So right now this is mainly for energy power side.
Energy, power, anything we want to put it under sustainability, right? What you really need, if we are talking about sustainability, what are the attributes need to be reflected? We need to go through this complete list and say these are the attributes need to be there.
Correct.
And the attributes probably not completely defined, but at least high level we can call out, right? These are the items belongs to the sustainability, right?
Yeah.
If we don't
so,
understand, what are we working on it, right?
Yeah. So thing is, I don't know if I'm able to explain. I want input from that team also, who's going to be heavily on the embodied carbon side, to tell us that if they think yes, API can be the way to go. So ideally, I would have want to bring this up in the big team meeting. Like we can bring it up once generically this time, but I want to bring it up once later when they are more settled.
Yeah.
So we can bring it up once this time. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to ask Sammy, since I missed it, can you clue me in on what this API thing is you're proposing, Sammy? I didn't get it.
We were just talking about the profile. So I think Shrudi's is concerned that that the other carbon teams are not ready yet to decide if they need things to be programmatically accessible data.
I see.
And that's
Yeah.
fine. We can always add it later. So we can, and besides, we don't, the redfish schemas don't have, embodied carbon properties. So, there's a whole cycle that has to happen before that could even be made a requirement. So,
Right.
so yeah, we can concentrate on, like I said, we can start with power, energy, location, and product identification, and stop. And then if we later, if the carbon teams come up with programmatic requirements, then we'll have to get those into the schema, and then absolutely put those into the, into the profile.
This carbon modeling team is that Dave and Vijay, right?
They can go at whatever pace makes sense. We don't, we can do profile version 1, and then we can do profile version 1.1 later to add, to say now we have additional information requirements for carbon modeling. Not a problem.
Yeah, and this team is the one in collaboration with Climate Accord.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think first and foremost, what we would want to have as a profile is things that can be implemented today, and hopefully, existing products, can probably already pass it. We want people to succeed on this stuff. So, creating new things, the carbon modeling, piece is like, well, that's stuff that has to have to go through a development cycle. So it's not something we can get people to give a check mark today because it doesn't exist. But so I don't want us to have a profile that will take till 2025 before anyone can pass it. That would be fine for version 2 of the profile. But we can, I'd like to get one that that hey, if folks have already done the work, they can get it today. So yeah, we'll take the output of the carbon modeling as it comes.
In fact, a profile can have a compliant version number, right? You can say, if you're 1.0, it's, I don't know, legacy with whatever the minimum things.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. There's enough flexibility in the profile to do, we can do it by product classification. We can, say, hey, if you're this type of product, then you have to have these additional requirements, et cetera, right? So.
Yeah, I think that's it. Let's probably, when we review those details, we can have this detailed conversation when we get this profile. Maybe we'll start the conversation next week, and we are going to do the IUE and profiles.
Yep.
The detail work, right? We can start. Maybe I think, Jeff, if we can even help us to kind of, hey, this is a way we can go, that will be helpful too.
Yeah, I've got stuff from our meeting last July. I've got a presentation. I think I had the I think I had a kind of a preliminary list of what would be, what I would recommend that we put into a profile. I'll go find all that.
Right. I think you had the Redfish profile conversation we presented, right? I think what
Yes.
we want to go back as probably like some additional things that we want to add, however we want to add, and maybe what is a sustainable profile means, what are those things belongs there, right?
Yep.
It's probably put somebody there.
Yep, can do.
Yeah. In fact, I will go back and refer your presentation and probably for the high level conversation, I will take some of those things out of it.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Tim?
No, thanks, Sammy. I think it'll be good to present the goals like in the next week's meeting and say this is what we accomplished. Gated by some of the TGG alliance stuff that we need to go get done.
Okay. We'll do that.
Do you want a slot to present that,
Yes.
Sammy?
Yes.
Okay, let me look, because I think we are quite full. The last thing is we have this open discussion. Let me just look, and I'll drop you a mail.
I thought there was like every the work group leads was going to say what was the plan for the 24. I thought it was already
No,
planned.
only for the 2 new work groups, right? Because they are going to update when they're starting.
Oh, now for Sammy and Deb and so on. Okay, I thought it was for everybody.
We just had 5 minutes slotted for the 2 new work groups starting, so that they can sort of call on people to please join and give them a little idea.
The solicitation. Okay.
Yeah. So let me look. We do have that open question at the end. So let me once look how much time we slotted. I think the majority time is in discussing the target roadmap thing. Let me look and drop you a mail, Mohan, Sammy.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be good if we have some at least 5 minutes or so.
Sure. Okay.
Good.
All right.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the new year. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks, Sammy.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.